You've been focusing on yourself for quite some time, and there's still a part of you that doesn't fully trust all the work that you've done. There's a strength about you, but there's also a side of you that fears potentially going down the wrong path or making the wrong choice or believing the wrong person or committing yourself to something that will bring you down. You've tried to be adaptable, and sometimes it just feels as though you have no control. And you're torn between allowing things to unfold as they should, or showing up and putting in energy and effort and directing the course of action. You want to find the happiness. You want to find the pinnacle of where you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're trying to find that trust in your decisions and the trust in the divine for things to roll out the way they're supposed to roll out. But sometimes you waver and doubt yourself or where you're going or the decisions you've made up until now. Are you putting energy and effort in the right place? Is the divine leading you to the right place? Are you supposed to be doing more? It seems to be taking a long time. By the time you get there, is it even worth it? How much time will this take? Are you going to enjoy where you end up? Is this going to allow you the freedom to be who you are? To make you feel absolutely powerful and content and at peace? Or are you still going to be in search of something? Spirit's conveying a message to you in channeling that you've been doing a very good job in allowing yourself to trust where you are headed. Although there is a battle between your mind and spirit and your intuition, you are right where you need to be. And although at times it seems as though you might be going through experiences that make no sense or have no end goal or don't seem like they were for a purpose, the divine knows that it is all for a purpose, that everything you're experiencing is adding to your healing journey. Everything you're experiencing is building you up to be this divine being of great power, so you are able to achieve everything you set your heart, mind, soul to. So you believe in yourself, unwavering faith in yourself, your intuition, your ability to trust spirit when things seem out of control, that things will end up exactly where they're supposed to be for the greatest, highest good of you and everyone else involved. You're not quite sure how much more healing you need to do. Is there something more you're supposed to do or see? Spirit is saying it's all about balance. It's all about being able to adapt when you can and knowing when you've hit your limits. Knowing when you feel dragged down by situations and allowing yourself to be honest, to put boundaries, and to trust in your own self-love, to say when you've had enough, but to also trust in the experience, even though it might seem tiring and sometimes you might get hurt. And sometimes it seems futile, like it's going nowhere. But Spirit's assuring you're getting better and stronger and closer to a strength within yourself that's unwavering, that's able to conquer anything. And your intuition is at an all-time high. And when you get messages from Spirit, dreams, downloads, visions, to trust these. Now is the time to act, even if it makes no sense to others around you. To know that you're headed in the right direction. And know that you won't break, even though at times you might feel like you're being forced outside of your comfort zone. You're adapting to the new you. Eventually, you're going to stand strong in making these decisions without worry, without doubt, from a place of strength and confidence, focused intention, direction. You've been really focused on building your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence. And it was a scary process because at times it might have seemed as though certain situations, people, circumstances could take it all away, or something could happen and you feel like you take one step forward and 2 steps back. But know this, you are right where you need to be, and you are going to be in the greatest strength that you could possibly encompass within yourself. As long as you continuously move forward and trust yourself and the divine to guide you, because you are headed in the right direction. And sometimes the direction is just exploring and building practice for strength, character. But all of this is forward movement, because no one can take away your experience, your strength, your understanding. Eventually you'll start to see things differently, and things that mattered or got in the way are no longer there. They just disappear. Any tension, any doubt, any stress, it doesn't matter. You don't see it. You'll be free of any sort of energies that are trying to hold you back or put doubt in your mind. You're able to move exactly towards what it is that you want. Although you might not feel like you have been, or at times like you are moving forward, be assured that you are. And sometimes we see things that aren't really what they are. So we make up stories or have different understandings and start to doubt. Know that Spirit is well aware of what is going on. And you are right where you need to be. This is what Spirit wants to communicate to you, pile number 1. Spirit wants to communicate to you that there's something going on that Spirit's well aware of, that makes you feel like you can't fully trust it, or like if you go along, how much of yourself do you surrender? You're contemplating making a choice, but you're not quite sure. There's so many questions. Why is there a whole bunch of patterns and synchronicities and dreams and messages pulling you, guiding you? None of this makes a lot of sense, but somehow some of it makes sense. When you fight it, when you don't listen, it doesn't feel right. You want to just be left alone. You don't want your mind racing all the time. Why is it so difficult? Spirit wants you to know that you're being guided towards love, family, home. That the awkwardness you feel is something that needs to be healed within you. That what you question is something within yourself that is being healed by experience. Though you might feel like you've had enough, or your mind's about to blow up into a million different pieces, Spirit knows the mind game all too well. So you might convince yourself, tell yourself certain things that aren't true, or that you don't want to believe. And then sometimes you feel completely at peace with your decision. Why make it feel like it's a choice if you feel like you're being pulled towards a certain direction? Should you not have the choice to be left alone? Not in a state where you have to rack your brain and mind over situations and circumstances that have no answer, that keep looping? Is this all just a game? Spirit wants you to know that there is a part of you that you need to learn to trust, and that there is a life that is absolutely beautiful for you, full of love. It's your home, it's your joy, it's your bliss, it's happiness beyond belief. And they're needing to trust that that's out there for you, and that everything you see in your dreams and around you are guiding you towards this beautiful home, beautiful love. You're not quite sure you want to see it. You're not quite sure why you see it. So you might do things, try and test whether it's real or fake, or if it'll leave and you could be at peace, or the way you were before all of this got started. Sometimes you feel like the universe is targeting you, making you do something you don't want to do or aren't ready to do. It's a big message here. Spirit is wanting you to know that as long as you're acting out of love, love of self, love of others, you are headed towards bliss. That you are on the path that's going to heal and guide you right where you belong, the life that was meant for you. You're not quite sure what sort of healing's going on. You just know that you don't feel like you're in control of your own decisions at times. So you hang on. But then it feels lonely and something feels off. How much more healing do I need? How do I know when I'm healed? How do I know when I'm done being healed? Spirit wants you to know how strong you are, and that you are strong enough to go through this experience in finding your truest self, your healed self, the self inside you that knows it deserves complete and utter happiness, that might feel like it doesn't need a home or need what anyone else has, can make do with what you have, can turn situations into doable ways of being. Like you're okay and good enough with odds and ends. And you always have been. So you want to prove how strong you are, how you're able to make do like this because you always have. There's nothing to change because you've been able to survive this way for so long. But Spirit wants you to know that part of you isn't accepting what you deserve because of fear, because you don't understand that there's something going on deeper within you that won't allow you to be open to receive the greatest gift that you were meant to experience in this life. To connect yourself back to Source at the greatest level that isn't tiring, doesn't require you to jump over hoops, to make up stories, to exhaust yourself, telling yourself certain things, certain scripts, feeling outcast, like you don't belong, or like people want you around, but always feeling left out somehow. And repeating this, Spirit wants you to open your heart to act out of love, to release any thoughts you have, to not feel like it is your life mission to be alone or shut out, or that peace is being completely alone. Because you've had enough experiencing what you have had experienced up until now. And this is why you're being pulled. This is why your dreams and signs and synchronicities are guiding you and pulling you. Do not resist, because it is a beautiful, loving energy that is all around you. You cannot trick the divine and where you're headed. Love can see through illusion. Love can see through a facade. Love can see through your tricks. Love can see through your guards. Love sees you for who you are. So once you're tired, playing around, resisting, not quite sure what you're looking for, but you know you haven't found it yet, the divine wants you to know with arms open that there is love waiting for you. And this is being divinely guided to open up your heart and allow love to come in and allow love to flow out. And you will see that there was a lot of healing in your heart that was needing to take place. And that all of this was stemming from love from the universe to you. That's what Spirit wants to communicate to you, pile number 2. Spirit's message to you, pile number 3. You've been ascending on the greatest journey of your life. While it makes no sense to other people, and it might have not have made a lot of sense to you, you finally see. You can finally see where you were, and how much you've changed. And although you see the ascension and the progression, still a part of you that isn't quite sure where it ends. Where are you climbing to? Are you expecting too much from others, from yourself? Do you need to guard yourself, shut out others? How do you know when your boundaries are too strong or not enough? You know you want to walk in your truth, embrace your truth, but you're not sure at the expense of what, and where does this take you? It's been a lonely road. It's been cold, with a lot of questions, but you kept along, and you made it along. Spirit wants you to know that just being you has allowed yourself to push through in times. So if you ever worry whether you are doing the right thing for yourself, just know that being you is the right thing. Being able to breathe, release, and not let the mind get in the way. So you might have experienced a lot of situations, and so your mind wants to keep you protected so you don't relive the same experiences. But Spirit's message to you here today is that there is a promise of you not reliving the same pains. And that it is okay to surrender and open up, to love deeply others is a great gift. And that you are rewarded by Spirit for being honest and truthful and continuing to walk in your truth. And that what might have felt like a cold winter is turning into beautiful bliss. Because eventually the sun comes out and thaws the cold ground. And where emotions might have been cold, frozen, they begin to thaw out. Where we might have felt alone, where we weren't seeing any growth in any of the areas where we were dedicated to ourselves, to our life. Spirit wants you to know that you will begin to see the thawing and all the groundwork that you have done is towards exactly where you're headed, to remain in trusting yourself and the good spirit, to stay calm at times where you might feel like you're at a low or you second guess where you're headed, to allow your feeling, your intuition to be a guide when you're too much in your mind. Not to fear that you might do something wrong or say something wrong or end up somewhere you shouldn't be. That the divine has a divine order and plan. That no matter what you try to sway yourself by accident or on purpose, that eventually you end up in the same path, and that whatever was destined for you is meant for you and will not miss you. And it shouldn't be heavy, and you shouldn't feel like you have to block yourself or guard yourself. You should release any sort of hesitations you have towards moving to the better, best version of yourself every day. And if people and situations come in wanting to engage with you, allow yourself to be open without expectation. Allow yourself to continue to talk and walk in your truth. To forgive those who might have hurt you in the past, who are also walking in their path, who might see the light a little later, who might still be guarded against you. Because after all, we are all one. And Spirit wants you to know that winters do not last forever. And you're being recognized for your fight, for your unwavering faith in yourself and pushing yourself forward. Do not look back on things you could have done differently or should be doing differently, because this is all coming from a mind place. Do not judge yourself. Allow yourself to let go and accept yourself for who you are and what you've done and everything you experienced up until this point. And then look to others who might be experiencing similar situations, learning lessons, their own lessons about themselves, who might feel like they've done things they wish they didn't do or done differently. And allow yourself to forgive them. And trust the change will come about. You are not where you used to be. And sometimes you might be in a position of advantage to see from a greater altitude what's going on. And you might have a better intuition or a knowing of situations, which might seem like a challenge or a curse. But Spirit wants you to know that it is a blessing and that there is order to all of this. And you're being guided exactly where you need to be. And that you will use all your experience as wisdom. Although no matter how painful it might have been at one point, the real lesson here is allowing yourself to forgive and drop any sort of unnecessary guards and accept those who might have been challenged in their experiences, who might want a second chance. There is a great gift that is being thought out for you guys, pile number 3. Because you've been very dedicated and devoted to getting the best outcome for yourself. And although you haven't seen it or felt it, you just know that there is something greater and better than where you've been. And that is enough. It has been enough. But at times it might feel like you might question that. Or what's it all for? Spirit's here to confirm that you are indeed correct. There is a greater space, a great love, and a lot of abundance that is resulting from all of your experiences, as long as you remain open and loving and empathetic and discerning with the lessons you've learned, when you need to put boundaries, but when you're okay to allow yourself to drop your guard and trust in yourself, because your intuition is at an all-time high. And so you know what the right thing to do at the right time is. So trust yourself and trust that Spirit is with you and has been with you throughout this whole journey. All right, pile number 3, that's what Spirit wanted to communicate to you.